Hello Internet, my name's Nihill. Today I'm going to be doing another reaction video for you guys. Now since today, March 8th, is International Women's Day, I decided to react to a video, Top 10 Badass Historical Women You Probably Never Heard Of, by MissMojo.com. Hopefully we get to learn about some like Viking warriors or something. Like in that movie Vikings, or the TV show Vikings, I should say, not a movie, it's a TV show. It's a good TV show, you should check it out, it's on Netflix.
These women might not be household names, but they sure made history. Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 badass historical women you've probably never heard of.
Well, no, if I never heard of it, that's not going to be Cleopatra then.
For this list, we're looking at women who are famous in their own right for their impressive achievements, but that have probably slipped under your radar. If you can't find a woman who you think should be on this list, be sure to check out our video on the top 10 female warriors in history.
She made the best of the war, and the war made the best of her. I mean, I got a lot from Nancy Wake.
Number 10, Catherine McCormick.
Never heard of her.
She's not the most well-known American heiress, but her impact on women's rights is priceless. From her youth, McCormick knew the importance of education and equality. While most of her female peers were discouraged from attending college, she earned a biology degree from MIT in 1904.
She gave money to build a dormitory for women. First tower McCormick Hall, and eventually she doubled it, and it became twice the size.
She later became a prominent suffragette, and was the first vice president of the League of Women Voters. After her husband died in 1947, McCormick earned a $35 million inheritance, giving her the chance to achieve her lifelong goals. She went on to donate money towards MIT's first on-site female dorm, and funded research that led to the first birth control pill. Philanthropist and pioneer, McCormick has helped improve women's lives throughout America and the world. Number 9, Rosalind Franklin.
Oh, come on, I've heard of her. You said ones I haven't heard of.
Anything but science.
While scientist duo Watson and Crick are associated with DNA's double helix structure, Franklin was also a big part of this influential discovery.
No, never mind. I never heard of this. I thought this was someone else.
Franklin was a researcher at King's College in London. In 1950,
I'm thinking Franklin Roosevelt, so the wife to Franklin Roosevelt. This is Rosalind Franklin, so I'm like completely. Never mind.
We'll get to the B formal in good time.
Without her knowledge, Franklin's colleague Maurice Wilkins showed photo 51 to Watson. Watson and Crick used the X-ray image to support their own research, while Franklin's own research was downplayed. Franklin died of ovarian cancer at only 37, and never lived to see the growing recognition of her work. With awards, buildings, and even a play in her honor, Franklin's contributions to science will always be remembered.
For Rosalind Franklin, the joy of science was in the work itself.
Wait, was her name Rosalind Roosevelt, the wife of Franklin Roosevelt? Rosalind Roosevelt? Is that why I'm like thinking of this?
Nancy Wake.
Nancy Wake.
This tough-as-nails spy started out as a freelance journalist and ended up as a French resistance hero. In the mid-30s, Wake visited Vienna and saw Nazis
resistance leader in France. A lot of heroes during that World War II there.
You do not need to be French to see Hitler for what he is. The man's insane.
When Germany invaded France in 1940, Wake joined the resistance as a courier and guide for Allied soldiers and refugees. Trained in England, she strengthened ties between Britain and the resistance, and her efforts led to many guerrilla victories.
Yes, there were deaths, yes, there were tears, but love and laughter, and she just, she was a flower that bloomed in wartime.
Always on her tail, the Gestapo could never catch the woman they called the White Mouse. Wake passed away in 2011 at the age of 98, and is one of the most decorated servicewomen of World War II.
I stood there and I thought, oh, that's dreadful, I couldn't whip a cat.
Number 7, Noor Inayat Khan. Not only was this brave woman a British spy, she was also a Sufi princess. Khan was a children's author in Paris when the war broke out, and fled to England in 1940. She became a radio operator for British intelligence shortly thereafter, and was next sent to Paris to work for the French resistance.
To her fellow trainees, Noor was a mystery. A petite woman with a Muslim name, a refugee from German-occupied France.
While many members of her network were arrested, Khan continued to work while trying to evade capture. In October 1943, a colleague betrayed her, and Khan was imprisoned in Paris by the SS. Even though she faced horrible conditions, Khan defied her captors until the end.
It must have been her faith. Only that faith could have carried her through.
She was executed at Dachau, Germany in 1944, and has since earned her place among Britain's wartime heroes.
Perfect qualities for a spy with a history of resistance. Her ancestors fought the British, but Noor would fight with them, driven by a hatred of fascism.
Number 6. Kutulun. Before the WWE divas, there was Kutulun, a beautiful Mongol princess who happened to love wrestling.
Do you wrestle in Venice?
Okay.
Of course.
Show me.
A descendant of Genghis Khan, she was a skilled warrior who
That
often
makes
joined
sense
her
then if
father
she's
in
good at
battle.
wrestling. It's like
When she wasn't killing it at the front, she could be found wrestling opponent after opponent. Kutulun could wrestle anyone she wanted, and she didn't just do it for kicks. If Kutulun won, she'd get 100 horses. If she
Wow.
lost, she'd marry her opponent. Needless to say, Kutulun ended up with a lot of horses. She allegedly married someone she met outside her lucrative hobby, and died in 1306. Largely unknown outside of Mongolia until recently, this unbeatable princess wrestled her way into history.
Kutulun has grown more fierce with
wow.
age and more beautiful.
Number 5. Wu Zetian. She was the only female emperor to reign in her own right in Chinese history, and a polarizing figure to boot.
你叫什么名字？
Emperor of China.
拜见贵妃娘娘。
Depending on the sources, Wu Zetian was either a ruthless woman who wasn't above having her own relatives killed to take the throne, or a highly effective leader who improved the lives of commoners. The truth lies somewhere in between. Wu purged a lot of the competition to become emperor, but also managed to purge corruption, expand the civil service system, and make Buddhism more prominent.
Wu Zetian wanted to embed herself into Buddhism, the religion of her empire.
She even headed a brand new dynasty for 15 years, which ended upon her abdication and death in 705. Despite her controversial reign, or maybe because of it, Wu continues to captivate us centuries later.
如今我执政8年，朝政清明，名声富庶，连太子都上书求我登基。你还有什么花样
？Number 4. Hatshepsut.
Hatshepsut was one of the most famous female figures of ancient Egypt.
1400 years before Cleopatra, another female pharaoh ruled over ancient Egypt. After her husband Thutmose II died, Hatshepsut ruled alongside her stepson Thutmose III, eventually becoming a pharaoh in her own right. Hatshepsut was usually depicted with feminine features, along with a king's false beard to show her power.
She needed to relinquish her femininity, don the short kilt worn by kings, put on a false beard, and wear the pharaoh's crown.
Her 20-year reign was mostly peaceful and prosperous. Hatshepsut built many monuments and embarked on a landmark trade expedition to the land of Punt. 20 years after her death, traces of her memory were destroyed, with some believing that her stepson Thutmose III was to blame.
You have to use science to be sure that this is true or not.
While later research cast doubts on this theory, we're fortunate that enough has survived from her reign so that Hatshepsut won't be forgotten anytime soon. Number 3. Qing Shi.
Mistress Qing.
This former prostitute became one of the most feared and successful pirates of the South China coast. Her husband Cheng I was already
I think I heard of this one. Okay.
Red Flag Fleet. After he died in 1807,
she became a pirate and had a fleet of like over 100 ships, I believe.
She saw a fleet of up to 80,000 pirates.
80,000.
She also set up a strict code of conduct to keep them in line, unless they wanted to lose their heads. Whether it was Chinese officials, the Portuguese, or the British, nobody could defeat the Red Flag Fleet. When the government offered amnesty to the pirates, Qing retired, keeping her loot and running a gambling house. By land or sea, Qing was unstoppable. Number 2. Jeanne de Clisson, aka Leoness of Brittany. This Breton noblewoman's third husband was executed for treason during the 100 Years' War. Jeanne then
Joan of Arc?
She sold her belongings to fund a small army, fighting on land before becoming a pirate in the English Channel. She and her children reached England, where Edward III is said to have given her 3 ships. Along with her forces, Jeanne supposedly beheaded French nobles herself, always sparing a few to report to the French king. Sources differ on her pirating days. She was at sea anywhere from 5 months to 13 years, but they ended when she married an English military deputy. While much of her life is the stuff
she's like Joan. Okay, so opposite side of the word is Joan of Arc, but a woman fighting on. Okay.
Badass historical woman, here are some honorable mentions.
Okay, Warrior Queen. Okay. No, never heard of any of these ladies.
Number 1, the Mirabal sisters.
The Mirabal
Last
sisters.
I heard, women weren't allowed to study law.
Last you haven't heard of Minerva Mirabal.
These Dominican sisters, Petria, Minerva, and Maria Teresa, fought the brutal dictatorship of Rafael Trujillo. Through their resistance group, the Movement of the 14th of June, they issued anti-Trujillo pamphlets and planned revolts. Minerva and Maria Theresa were arrested, but were freed after the Organization of American States intervened. Their freedom was short-lived, however. On November 25, 1960, the sisters were driving home from visiting Minerva and Maria Theresa's jailed husbands when Trujillo's henchmen beat them to death. Trujillo was assassinated 6 months later, and the Mirabal surviving sister Didi dedicated her life to preserving the woman's memory. To commemorate the sisters, November 25th is the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. These sisters were not only badass, they are national heroes.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. That's me reacting to the top 10 most badass women you've never heard of through history. So no famous people in this one like Amelia Earhart or Cleopatra. These are like unknown women, I guess. So learn something new every day. I'll probably forget half of these names by tomorrow, but whatever. It's a good video. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.